welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, give it a stretch. Okay, good. Yeah, not the most productive day for me today. You know, I'm doing the basics, doing the laundry, doing the normal stuff. I'm actually about to sign up. I'm trying to figure out which I could probably change my email address, right? Because eventually I'm signing up for this like CAD program, and it's free, and any models you create are like out in the internet, right? But then if you create, like, then you pay for it, then you can have like private models. And eventually I plan on having private models that I could 3D print. But I want to, so like while I'm learning and stuff, I mean, it's fine. You can have it print because it's just going to be random things I'm learning from, right? But when I want to actually have the private ones, I'm thinking, well, will I have to, can I go back and change? Like, will it bring them down or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, or will it be like from this point forward, any new models are private? Or do I just create a whole new account? Because when I pay for it, I'm trying to do a business. I'm trying to look into starting a business, right? And so I'm looking into, so when I start creating models, they'll be for sale for the business. So I'm like, well, I might as well, if I'm going to pay for this thing, then use that as a business expense because it's going to be used for business. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do all the mess around, playing around stuff now, learning. And then when it comes to the time to actually do it, then I'm going to pay for it as a business. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. So I may, because I'll have like a business address. So I may just create a new account. And so maybe have like my play account, like the public joints, you know what I'm saying, just messing around. But for business stuff, that might be best. So that way I'm separating, you know, messing around stuff, learning stuff, throwing stuff out there with the like the business stuff. So that might be best, I think. That's what I'm probably going to end up doing. Cool. Sounds good. All right. Decided. Cool. All right. For this break session, I want to kind of take a quick look at, we kind of mentioned it the last cipher, and so I want to bring it up again. I'm going to paste a link to this blog article. And so I want to talk about, if it loads, how Astro 5.0 was released. And this was like last week or something, like on the 3rd of December. So I figured to go through it and, see what's new. Because I'm planning on building some more projects soon, too, as well. So it's good to have 5 out so I can just build the stuff. And it'll be on like the latest, the newest one. You know what I'm saying? The newest breaking changes, version, all that other stuff. And some other things I could probably implement inside of these projects, which would be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a good learning lesson for me. So let's check out 5.0. All right, again, I posted a link to this. So next to the recording of the video, there'll be a link to go check out this blog post. Cool. All right. So introducing Astro 5.0 with Astro Content Layer to load your content from any source, which is pretty dope. So that opens up some interesting possibilities. Because before I was just having like JSON files in the thing, but then like if you ever want to have like your own CMS, you know what I'm saying, and then using this Astro as like a content layer just to display the content, that might be kind of dope. So I wonder how that works with like the pre-rendering and all that stuff, like server-side rendering. Guess we'll find out. So, and server islands to combine cached static content with dynamic personalized content, which that is pretty dope too. So I've been looking to kind of mess with that also. So read on to learn about these powerful new features and more. Nice. All right, so what is Astro? So Astro is the web framework for building content-driven websites, including blogs, marketing, and e-commerce. Nice. If you need a website that loads fast with great SEO, then Astro is for you. All right. So then some of the release highlights. So the things we're going to talk about in the blog. So again, the content layer, server islands, simplified pre-rendering, which, all right, interesting. I'll check that out. Type safe environment variables. All right. Vite 6, brand new Vite, and experimental features. All right. So visit astro.new, which we saw before because we were talking about how now, brown cow, but how Project IDX from Google is now like their official online editor. And they're paying like $10,000 a month, which is amazing. So that's pretty dope. Cool. So yeah, so kind of keep, because again, sometimes with these projects, you never know if they're going to last long because it takes money to run like a company. You know what I'm saying? And these things are free. And I thought AstroDB would be a good way of getting some sort of money into it. So I guess, but now, you know what I'm saying, they have these things with companies and stuff. So that's pretty dope. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it does well. All right. So if you want to update, you know what I'm saying, so to create a new project using Astro 0.5, you just run create Astro command with your package manager here. So there we go. And then do like at latest. To upgrade, which I'm going to have to do for a couple of projects, you just do the npx astro.js/upgrade. But apparently all you need to do is just do npm install Astro. So that's cool. So I guess there's nothing we really need to change. Check out our upgrade guide for the full details and individual upgrade guidance for each change of this release. Oh, okay, cool. Well, let me see something here. Let me take a look at that. What's that about? I'm trying to see if there's anything. Okay, so it's using like Vite 6. All right. Okay, so there may be some stuff. Let me switch in here. So yeah, so Astro 5 upgrades to Vite 6.0 as a development server and production bundler. If you're using Vite-specific plugins, so if you're using plugins, configuration, or APIs, which I don't, I just use base, you know what I'm saying, like whatever it is. Check the Vite migration guide for their breaking changes and upgrade your project as needed. That's the thing with like the landscape now. Things depend on things that depend on things that depend on things. So for me, the thing I want to use, I just use base whatever they use. You know what I'm saying? So if they need to upgrade something, then they'll upgrade all the other stuff that needs to be, I think that changes. So as long as nothing changes with that thing that I'm using, cool. So I will, unless it's a like just straight Vite project, I'm probably never going to do any specific plugins, configurations, or APIs. So cool. And then, this MDX thing. Hold on, wait a minute. Performance. I think I used something with MDX. So Astro v5 moves the responsibility to handle and render JX and MDX to the Astro MDX package directly. This means the Astro 5.0 is no longer capable with older versions of the MDX integration. Okay, I might have to look into that. So what should you do? Oh, okay. So interesting. All right. I don't think I was. If your project includes MDX files, you must upgrade this to the MDX package to the latest version so that your JSX can be handled properly by the integration. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I was using a server renderer with the Astro container. So I might be fine. I just probably have to upgrade this joint here, which I think it'll probably do when you update the whole thing, maybe. We'll see. And then some legacy stuff. So if you're like from like 2.0, okay. Cool. All right, let's keep going the rest. So I'm going to upgrade this package and see what happens. Hopefully it won't break. It should be fine. It should be fine. All right, cool. So content layer. Now, this is the thing I was kind of looking at. Astro is the best framework for content-driven sites. And with Astro 5.0, we're making it even better. Awesome. The Astro content layer is a new, flexible, and pluggable way to manage content, providing a unified, type-safe API to define, load, and access your content in your Astro project, no matter where it comes from. So it's kind of like, it'll be like that type-safe funnel. So you're like, hey, I want, regardless of whatever it's coming from, I need my data to be this. And if it's not that, then there's going to be an issue. So that's the issue on the content thing. But my site, my content site needs this data of this type. And if you're not providing that, there's a problem. So, all right, that's cool. So that'll prevent things, I guess, from like breaking and stuff. All right. So you define a collection. The Z is where they do the types and stuff. So I did this I do. I think I did this on one of my newer projects. I think my presentation site. I think I did on this. Cool. Then you enter this glob thing, which is kind of, I guess, like all sorts of type of, yeah. So this glob data, so load data. So it takes whatever. Okay. And then here's the type stuff. Oh yeah. Okay. Then no. So yeah. So I guess if you use Notion, there's a loader for that. All right. So it's like, so in the case of a blog, you define the collection. So you define the loader, which I thought would be, oh, you do the Notion loader. Oh, for the database. Okay. So loader is just gonna be like a glob, which is like just data, and the pattern, whatever with the MD, and then the base, the source data block. That's where it's pulling it from. Cool. And then here you can optionally, so it's optional, define a schema for the type safe data. So whatever data that's coming from this data blog should match whatever structure you put in here, like title, slug, whatever. Like if it's a string, or if it's like an ID number, is it a Boolean? Is it like a number? Is there like different Booleans, like, if it's author or not or whatever, I think. And so then the database, so that's the blog, the database. Okay, so then you have the defined collection. So automatically fetch content in one line with a loader. So this Notion loader knows how to get the data from Notion, I guess. So that'll be your database. Cool. And then you have countries. Okay. Oh, so you can actually, so the loader, oh, okay, all right. So yeah, so if you have it, see, that's pretty dope, because sometimes for some of my projects, like I'll have a database and it will spit out like a JSON, right? So then I could just make a call to that endpoint and get the JSON and return it back. And that is what the loader does. Oh, that's pretty dope. And then you export the collections. So you have the blog, database, and countries. Okay. So that might actually help. But then, because previously I'll just make an API call like in the front matter at the top of the page. I would just make a fetch call, which is basically this, and then pass it down into the page that it needs. So this is just like another way, I guess, of doing that. Okay. And I guess, yeah, with and then I guess you could do the same type stuff here with the schema for all of these. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Cool. All right. Interesting. So since Astro 2.0, content collections have allowed you to organize your stuff. All right, we're going to skip all that. So that's pretty cool. So that's more stuff. All right. Okay. All right. So then, yeah, so that's kind of how it goes. So you have like the different loaders here going into here, goes into your data store, and then it goes to your different sites. So you can just pull it from there. So I guess in my case, instead of pulling the data each time like the page loads, I would just do it once in this data store when it's defining the collections, and then I'll just pull it into the different pages as need be. Yeah, so like for this, so back the data store, and if you're looking for a certain ID.astro, that'd be your data store that you pulled from whatever. Like in my case, it'd probably be like the API, because in Astro, I was doing this before. You know what I'm saying? When I was messing around with the data collection stuff, the defined collection for the latest one when it was in 4.0. So I was doing this, like I'd have a JSON file, put in the loader, put in the store, or define, and then I would pull it into the thing. But now, if I have my own API, like in previous projects, I could do that also. So instead of making a call on every page. Okay. So I didn't think about that. Interesting. Okay, cool. Server islands. This is pretty dope. So server islands are an evolution of the islands architecture concept that Astro helped bring to the mainstream. Server islands extend this same idea to the server. With server islands, you can combine high-performance static HTML and dynamic server-generated components on the same page. All right. Because islands architecture before was like, yeah, well, it's kind of similar, but now it's on the server. Okay. Because from what I understand, like island architecture was the stuff like if you needed like JavaScript for certain things, well, you'd send everything down that didn't need JavaScript, like all the content static stuff. And then if you needed JavaScript, you'd be able to hydrate those areas, I guess. So it would load a lot quicker. And then, so I guess this now is going to be done on the server. Okay. So on any given web page, you might have content that is completely static and never changes. Dynamic, backed by a database that changes infrequently but more often than you deploy, and personalized content tailored to the individual user. So previously, you had to choose one caching strategy for all these types of content. And if the page is logged in, is a logged in experience, that usually means no caching at all. Yeah, okay, that makes sense because you have to keep authenticating the person every time they travel through your site. Now with server islands, you get the best of both worlds. So you have the CDN, and here's like the green stuff here is like the page is loaded, static stuff. And then I guess the server, so coming from the server will determine whether or not if they're logged in or not. So instead of having to wait for like your JavaScript or whatever to determine whether or not that person's logged in, I guess you get that from the server because they would know through like cookies and all these things whether or not the person signed in, I guess. So server islands are used for your most dynamic content, personalized content like a user's avatar, their shopping cart, and product reviews. When these components are deferred, you're free to more aggressively cache the page itself. This means that users logged in or not will see the most critical parts of the page instantly, as they are caching on edge CDNs. Okay. You can also set custom fallback content to show briefly before the dynamic islands are loaded, so like little loaders or whatever. Each island is loaded independently to optimize the visitor's experience. This means a slower island, which is one connected to a legacy backend, won't delay the rest of the personalized content from being seen and interacted with. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so you can set headers inside of the island, allowing you to customize the cache lifetime of individual islands. Wow, this is getting to a lot. Use server islands on platforms that perform automatic page compression. Okay. Increase privacy by automatically encrypting server island props using a key generated on the server. Okay. That's pretty cool. So like, for example, like I guess if you had like, if you have like an audio streaming service and somebody bought an album, you don't want everybody to maybe listen to the album. You want to be able to like encrypt that. So maybe they're saying like this, your island could be like that audio player. And depending on whether or not the person's logged in and encrypted, you can send like an encryption for that specific audio player because they bought it. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't buy it, maybe they'll say like buy now or something. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let's check out this simplified pre-rendering. So ever since Astro's 1.0 release 2+ years ago, wow, Astro has supported multiple output modes. So there's like static, which builds the website once at build time to good old static HTML files, and server, where the pages are instead rendered at runtime. All right. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of server stuff here, allowing you to build highly dynamic websites. Okay. So they have like a hybrid. Oh yeah, I think I was doing like a hybrid thing too at some point. Or maybe wait, hold on. If I point over simply all of this, the hybrid and the static options have been merged into the default static option. Okay. This now allows you to render individual routes at runtime on the server just by adding an adapter. No other configuration is required. I feel like I was kind of doing that already. Not sure. Okay, so now, okay, yeah. So if you can set your pages pre-render false. So something I was looking at, I think I saw that before. Okay, so that's the thing now. Huh. Oh, that's cool. So it'll do it for you automatically. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna look into more of that. And then like astro.m. So configuring application is important, but complicated part of the development process. New in Astro 5 is the Astro env module, which gives you a type-safe way to define the environment variables your application expects and needs. Okay, because I've been doing on the actual platform that I'm using to like host or whatever, I was using like their environmental variables. So if you can put that into the Astro env, okay, designate variables as secrets, such as API keys that you do not want to be exposed in the client nor inlined into the server build, which can be viewed by anyone with access to the build output. So if you do them as secrets, then I guess you would use the client, like the platforms thing. I guess that's how that would work, maybe. Okay. And so yeah, so you can configure whether your variables are to be used in the client or the server to help segment different uses. Okay, you can define the type and you can specify whether it's required or not. Interesting. So yeah, so like your Stripe API key, you'd only want that on the server. So then I guess when it's built, then it will look for the environment variables on the platform for Stripe API key, maybe. So when you build it, it will leave it if you do server, or maybe if you do it as a secret. I'm not sure. I'll play around with that. And then talking about the V6 and some experimental stuff we got going on here. So yeah, so you just put the experiment. Oh, responsive images. Oh, image cropping support. Astro now supports cropping images when using its default Sharp image service for image processing. Okay. So you use fit and position prop. So fit cover. Oh, because normally you do this like with CSS or whatever, like, and then do the width and height. But I guess this will like crop it. Wow. Okay. And then this way you can always change this, I guess. So you can make this like variable. So depending, maybe because of the whole new container layout stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like you could probably set it to so whatever the layout. Interesting. Responsive image layouts. Huh. Okay. So this Astro's newest experimental image feature supports setting predefined responsive image layouts. These will automatically generate the proper source set and sizes values to make your image look good and perform well on all devices. So I wonder if this is maybe like the max height and width, and then it will do all the different sorts. So depending on the size of the screen, it'll show that. Interesting. And they have SVG. Okay. So did you ever wish it was easier to use SVGs in Astro? So did we. So they have an SVG component now. So yeah, you just import the SVG. Oh, so instead of messing around with all the stuff inside of it, it will do it for you. That's pretty dope. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay. All right. And some more bug fixes. So shouts to all these folks for making Astro 5.0 happen. Shouts to these folks. All right, cool. That's it. I'm going to get y'all back to work. But have you used Astro? Are you looking forward to 5.0? If so, I totally didn't have the thing. So yeah, I was going through here. That's fine. So yeah, so the server island stuff we spoke about, simplified pre-rendering, the Astro ENV, the V6. This is why I hate sharing tabs individually, and all the other stuff here. So again, I will link to it. You can check it out for yourself. All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna send you all back to work because just today I'm tired. It's just been a long day. All right, so I'm gonna send you all with some traveling music. This right here. So again, we'll come back. We'll take a look at this website. Listen to some music. Maybe you'll become a fan. And yeah, so till then, till 15 minutes after the hour, I'm gonna send you all off with Nujabez featuring Apani B. The track's called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you for the final break session of the day. Thanks again, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.
But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank God for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. But let me start from the heart. I just want to stay. I thank you all for showing up to me. I appreciate this unique opportunity. I'm gonna rock so hard you never stop supporting me. I'm gonna show you how music is more meaning to life. I thank you all for